One tool that it's very important to understand is how to use the layer editor. I have showed you how to use this in one or two of the tutorials, but I'm just going to go through this separately just to make sure that it's completely crystal clear. Okay, so in this shot, if I open up the outliner, I go to Window, Outliner, I've got several objects. I've got the ground, I've got the wall, I've got the table, I've got a fruit bowl, and I've got P-sphere 1, P-sphere 2 and P-sphere 3, which I've rather lazily not named, and I'm going to call those orange 1, orange 2, and then orange 3. Okay, so what we want to do is create layers so that sometimes in Maya you don't want to be looking at just you don't want to have a lot of clutter in your shot. You want to be able to see just the object that you're interested in. So it's very simple to create layers. If I click on the wall, or indeed I can select it here in the graph editor, all I have to do, in the outliner, all I have to do is go down here to the layer editor and click Layers, Create Empty Layer, and it will automatically create something called Layer 1. So I call that Wall and click Save. Oh, okay, it doesn't like it because there's already a wall object in the shot already. So why don't we call this Wall Geo, Geo being short for geometry. Wall Geo. And then I have the wall selected. We know it's selected because it's green. So all I do is go right click, add selected objects, and that adds the wall to that layer. And the way we can test this is by just clicking on this little V visibility box, and off it goes. And now we have no wall. So we can do the same thing for all the other objects. We can go to the ground, I can go to Layers, Create Empty Layer, double click on it, Ground, Geo, and go Save. Once again, right click, add selected objects, and now if I turn the V button off, then the ground disappears. Now let's go to the table. Once again, Layers, Create Empty Layer, double click on Layer 1, call it Table Geo, Save. And now we can turn the right click, add selected objects, turn off the visibility, and the table disappears. So now we can zoom in on this fruit bowl. So I'm going to click on my little bowl. I'm going to go Layers, Create Empty Layer, name it Bowl Geo, add selected objects, and the fruit bowl disappears. By the way, we probably want the fruit to be able to move around with the bowl. So what I'm going to do is shift select these oranges, and I'm going to middle mouse drag them. Oops. Wait a minute. Middle mouse drag them into the fruit bowl. And what that does is it makes the fruit a child of the bowl. So now if I move the bowl around, then the fruit will disappear. And that also means if I turn off the geometry, the fruit will disappear with it. So we now have nothing in the shot, apparently, unless we turn it all back on again. And this just makes your life very easy. Let's say you wanted to adjust the shape of this table and you wanted to start fooling around with the vertices. You don't want to be selecting vertices all over the shot. You just want to be selected the ones you're interested in. So if we turn off everything else, then it just makes everything much simpler. Okay, so that's the layer editor. You'll find you'll use it all the time in animation because you will be wanting to, let's say you're animating with a number of characters in a shot, you will want to create layers so that you're not having to look at all of your characters at once, and you will almost certainly want to create a layer for your background so that you can turn it off when you don't want to look at it. So that is an introduction to the layer editor, a wonderful, incredibly useful tool, and one that you will use a great deal.